Well, speaking of which, this is a very fun article I found. So the following is from The Sun. It's entitled "Virus Hypocrite Kyle Walker," who is a soccer player in England, hosted a sex party with 2 hookers just a day before urging fans to stay home for coronavirus lockdown.
My God.
Yeah, I did hear about that. It was kind of funny.
And he issued a groveling apology, but he's going to get fined and whatnot. But he only just split from his long-term girlfriend. Then he partied with a escort, Louise McNamara, 21, and a Brazilian call girl after he and a male pal invited him to his £8,000 a month rented luxury apartment, which is very important when you're hiring a hooker, is how much your apartment is worth.
Yeah, you've got to, because the more they've got to charge you more based on how big your apartment is and how expensive it is.
Well, the single mum says the player who she took snaps of stripped to his undies said his name was Kai. And she said she works with an agency in Manchester. She got a message from her boss saying a high-profile client was looking for somebody classy. He tried to keep his identity secret, but the Brazilian call girl told her while they were out smoking on the balcony that Kai was a soccer player.
You can't hide. It's just pointless trying to.
Well, they agreed to pay the girls £2,200 in cash before moving through to the bedroom, where he pulled out some gold-coloured shine condoms.
Oh yeah, as you do.
Now
that's fucking cool there, right there, fellas.
Yeah, but if you're gonna live in an £8,000 a month apartment, and you're gonna spend £2,200 on hookers for the night, in theory, you should probably be living in a better apartment and spending less on hookers.
Yeah.
What do you think of the appropriate ratio of expenditure on hookers versus expenditure on monthly rent is?
I don't know.
Well, all I can think of is
probably 100% or 100%, depending on how much you want to, depending on who you are.
Yeah, well, if you're going to pay £2,200 on the hookers and that, you better make sure they deliver the goods.
Well, if you're paying that much, you'd think the bitch would shut her fucking mouth.
Well, not necessarily, because she probably finds a way to get even more money out of you. So.
I know, but what a bitch.
Well, that's just the reality.
With him being a soccer player, they probably thought, oh, we can't just have him playing with these big balls all day long, so we'll just come along, we'll play with these little balls for a bit and get a big payday. There we go.
Well, that's what they probably worked out, that because he probably wasn't thinking and he was just worrying about his balls, that I found a way to get even more out of him. So
on the same day, he posted a video lecturing people to stay at home.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did see that.
But then she takes the moral high ground by saying that he's a hypocrite and putting people's lives at risk. While one, she's a fucking hooker who was out there doing it anyway. Like, what's the difference between her and him? And then she's fucking taking advantage of him.
There's no difference.
Well, one gets paid for opening their mouth and wrapping it around something, but the other one's a hooker. So there you go.
Yeah, they both get paid to touch some balls. So
yeah, that they do. So
in front of a bunch of men.
Yeah.
Well, I read something interesting on Facebook last night that really, really got me laughing about, hypocrites and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Was the Israeli health minister. He made this big outburst saying, COVID-19 is God's way of punishing all the homosexuals in the world. And what happens? He ends up getting the disease himself. I'm like, is this saying something about you?
Would have been better if he got AIDS from having sex with a gay prostitute.
Yeah.
That would have been you.